Hey guys, Ben here and welcome back to another video on Superman Lois Season 4. Today we're going to be doing my final trailer breakdown for Superman Lois. This is the trailer for the series finale, aka Season 4, Episode 10 of Superman Lois. So if you do go on to enjoy the video, please be sure to leave a like and a comment and subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss any future videos later this year. Okay guys, so what a season this has been. The final season of Superman Lois has gone by and it's flown by really fast, and it's been such a good season. It's been probably my favorite season of them all, and this episode looks so promising. It looks like an action-packed episode from the very start. We obviously ended on that cliffhanger in last episode. Obviously, if you missed that review and breakdown, apologies for it going up late. Go check it out. It's up on the channel right now. You can watch it for yourself. But for now, let's go ahead and jump into our final trailer breakdown for this trailer. And it's a long trailer. It's like a 1 minute 20 plus trailer for Superman Lois's series finale. So I love the music in this trailer because it's uplifting, it's inspiring, it's epic, it's exactly what you want. It's what Superman Lois is. It captures that essence, and I love this final trailer. It's a trailer that I will definitely go back to quite a lot in the future. Like, I remember specific trailers from like The Flash and different shows that I always will remember, and I think this is one of those. And so the trailer starts off with Clark, and you got this shot of Clark, and Clark is saying, what do you think Superman and Lois Lane will be remembered for? So I love that little reference to the title, Superman and Lois, or Superman and Lois Lane. And Lois has the perfect answer to this, as it says the final episode in the trailer, and we see Lois as she replies to Superman and then leaves us with a little smile. But what she says is, I'd like to think truth and justice, and Clark finishes it off by saying, and a better tomorrow. So in full, I'd like to think truth, justice, and a better tomorrow, which is the updated motto of Superman that was changed about 2-3 years ago in DC Comics. And I love that they've actually gone for this and that they reference the comics. And obviously the traditional Superman line is truth, justice, and the American way. But I think truth, justice, and a better tomorrow is perfect. Because being Superman is not being American. It's not being something specific to one country. He is bigger than that, and he fights for a better tomorrow because he truly believes in what he does, and he believes in Earth, and he will do whatever it takes to protect the people that he loves, but also to protect the planet from people like Lex Luthor and Doomsday, who obviously mean to cause it damage. So I think this is a great line, and I loved hearing that in the trailer. Now, moving on to the next shot after this, we've got Lex, and he's strangling Jordan, who is going to be in the mix with all this chaotic fighting that's going to be happening in this final episode. And it seems like, yeah, this is actually just going to be like non-stop fights throughout most of the episode, whether it's against Doomsday at the start of the episode and then eventually Lex. And I do have a theory that I'm going to talk about towards the end of the video in regards to Doomsday, because as far as we know and the trailer shows, well, Doomsday's not in this episode that much supposedly, so we'll have to wait and see as to how he is defeated. But Lex is here, he is strangling John. We get this other shot of Lex, the look on his face, he doesn't care, he is unhinged. This is Lex Luthor with no boundaries. He is absolutely fed up of Superman, Lois, and their family, because what he's going to do now is try and kill them all, and he's going to be ruthless, and he's going to be really putting everyone to the test as he utilizes that Lexo suit that he got last episode. And so moving on to the next shot after this, Clark says you'll never hurt another person as he floats in the sky. It's a great shot of Superman. It's kind of iconic Superman. And this is of obviously Superman standing up against Lex, who is flying as well in the sky. And we see throughout this trailer that they have a long-winded battle up in the sky. And so he says you'll never hurt another person. Now the question is, are they going to put him away this episode, or are they actually going to kill him? Is he going to cross the line because Lex is that unhinged and that dangerous that he is willing to become a killer to stop Lex Luthor once and for all? Obviously, my theory is probably not. He's probably not going to do that because this is Superman. This is the person that fights for truth, justice, and a better tomorrow by killing someone, you don't really make it a better tomorrow, even though it is Lex Luthor. Now, moving on to the next shot in the trailer, and this, we have some great dialogue here, because the shot is of Clark and Lois, and they're in the middle of Smallville, fires are raging, you can't see them clearly because the heat is obscuring them, and Lois says, "The boys do not live in a bubble anymore, they have each other, they have you, and that is going to have to be enough," which is followed on by her saying, "It is time you finally accept you can't do this on your own anymore." So it seems the boys are going to be heavily involved in this final battle against Lex. They are going to be stepping up, and Superman is just going to have to accept this, and Lois, more than anyone else, is pushing for this, because obviously naturally Superman is going to be quite hesitant to put his boys in harm's way, with Doomsday out there, with Lex out there. Obviously they're literally doing anything that they can to kill his family, so naturally Superman is going to want to stand up first and be the first line of attack. But he is going to have to be backed up by other people, including Superboy, which we see in the next shot. You see Jordan and Jonathan as they fly through this forest. I couldn't really get a good screenshot of this, but you get the idea. It's fast, it's action-packed. I mean, it looks like it's at sunset, and it seems they are in a rush, and we know that they will be facing off against Lex in this episode, so it seems they're going to be chased by him at one point. I don't know if it's in this shot or not, but moving on to the shot after this, we got Superman, who is battered. You can see his face all bleeding and everything, just like at the start of the season when Superman died. So this confirms, yes, Superman is alive. He is not dead after that cliffhanger when Doomsday dragged him away by his head once again. But the boys are here, and they look up as Superman flies away, and it seems he is heading right back into battle because they've temporarily stopped here where they were training in the previous episode. And then the trailer cuts to this shot of Lois as she talks to Superman. It's a great shot, and that is where she says the line, "It is time for you to finally accept you can't do this on your own anymore." Now let's move on to the next shot, because it seems Jordan may be having a panic attack, or he's just having a moment, and he says, "Please don't leave me," and in response to that, Jordan says, "I promise I won't." And you see them hugging. It's a nice moment, although it seems like it's in the heat of the action, because in the wide shot of this, it looks like they're in Lex's hotel and they are sitting on the ground. I don't know what has happened, but seemingly maybe Jonathan has been kind of gotten the best of. Now I hope they don't do like a Harry Potter where they kill one of the brothers, because I think that would be way too over the line for the final episode. Yes, there has to be stakes, but I think by killing Jonathan or killing Jordan, and obviously in this case it would be more likely to be Jonathan because he is the one sitting on the ground here. Now I'm not saying that that's happening, but it is definitely a possibility, because there is going to have to be some high stakes in this episode. Now this has been something that we've been talking about for a couple of episodes, and that is the idea that Superman could supercharge himself potentially, just how Lex took away his powers with the red lights in that episode a couple of episodes back. Superman can fly to the sun now that he is somewhat powerful, although he is not at his full strength. He can definitely go up there to the sun and absorb the sun's energy, and it seems, as you see in this shot of Superman flying and floating next to the sun, he is going to be doing just that as he absorbs all that energy, which you can see in this shot that follows. He's got his hands out wide as he absorbs that energy, and he becomes more powerful than he currently is. Now that could be a way that he is able to withstand all the hits, withstand the attacks by Lex. But after that, we get this amazing shot of Superman. Just look at Tyler's eyes, like the way that he's looking at Bitsy. I mean, that says it all. He really doesn't know how things are going to turn out. He is clueless. But let's move on from this shot, because the next shot, we've got the return of John Henry Irons and Lana, who are all returning along with a lot of other characters in this series finale, and they say, "We have an idea." Now I think it could be their idea to suggest to Clark that he should go up to the sun and absorb the radiation. So some potentially good thinking from the two of them. Now let's move on to the shot after this, because we got Lex, and he is in his Lexo suit, and he says, I will kill you right here. Then it cuts to Lois saying, then do it. And she screams that. That was a really impactful moment in the trailer because Lois is finally standing up to Lex, and Lex is becoming totally unhinged as he says, time to die, Lois, as he approaches Lois in the middle of the street. Now, I think this is after Doomsday has been defeated potentially, and Lex is by himself, and so he is just willing to do anything. And you have to remember, he's out in Smallville openly with his face out, so clearly after everything that happens with him attempting to murder Lois on the middle of Smallville streets, surely if they record that, that's going to be more than enough to lock Lex away for good. So the heat of the moment could be what actually defeats Lex rather than him actually being killed or anything like that. So if Lois is smart and if Superman's smart, they can use this to take down Lex once and for all and not have to kill him. Now, there is a shot of a helicopter that goes down. Lois is in the middle of the street and she's able to get to the side. You see it here with the explosion going off in the background. So she's going to be in the middle of all of this, obviously alongside Lex targeting her once he's down on the ground. But in the meantime, Superman fights Lex as he punches him up into the atmosphere, where you get these amazing shots of the sunset in the background and Superman swinging and punching Lex, which is followed by the boys, and the boys are standing in the middle of that destroyed Smallville street, the main street as they call it. And we got this shot of Lex going absolutely flying through the sky in his Lexo suit. And this is when we cut to Superman, and once again, it's that great shot. And Superman says, you came after my wife, my family, my town, but all that ends right now. And he screams that. Just look at the expression on Tyler's face. He means it with all of his heart. And that is just such an impactful moment. In this trailer, it's going to be an impactful moment in the episode, that's for sure. So he's going to end Lex Luthor. He is going to figure out a way to defeat him in battle and then probably lock him up. And so it ends right now because Superman has had enough of Lex. And we get this next shot of Lex as he flies through the sky, and we cut to a close-up of him inside the suit as him and Superman in this wide shot collide, or they're about to collide. And you got this great shot of Superman about to swing at Lex once again, with openly wearing the wedding ring, which has been pointed out quite a lot. But Lex says, why won't you die? So clearly his plan has failed. Doomsday has failed. Whatever happens to him in this episode, and Lex is going to have to try and kill Superman himself, but he is proving to be extremely hard to defeat because obviously the yellow sun radiation has boosted his powers most likely, and Lex, despite having the Lexo suit, is really going to struggle, as we see in this trailer. Then it cuts to this great shot of the title of the episode, It Went By So Fast, which is representative of the show going by so fast, which I think is a really fitting title for the series finale of Superman Lois. So the final shot of the trailers of Superman flying through the sky, I don't know if this is a new shot or not, but it's a great shot nevertheless. So that does it for my final trailer breakdown. Obviously in the next week, if there is any extra promos or trailers or sneak peeks, we're going to be breaking them down. I'm going to be trying to upload daily as we head into this final week of Superman Lois. So don't go anywhere because we're going to have all the content coverage on my channel for Superman Lois's series finale. So for now, thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate all your support throughout this season of Superman Lois, and obviously watching all my other videos. Obviously it's been very Superman Lois centric for the last month or so since it's been on, because that's like all that everyone wants to talk about right now. But for now, please be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications, and you can click on the top right corner of the screen to watch my latest video, and I'll catch you guys later. Goodbye.